All right, let's build a quick schedule in P6 just to be able to get familiar with some of the components in P6. So I'm on the projects tab here in P6. So if you're not seeing this, you can navigate here to this projects folder, and this is where we add a new project or create a new project. So make sure you're on this page, and then off to the right here, I can click add a new project, and I can choose where in the EPS, the enterprise project structure, I want to add a project. So I'm just going to choose enterprise, which is here. If I wanted a different section, I would use those three buttons, and I could choose a different section to add the project to. So let's go ahead and click that. Click finish. Here's my new project. Let's call it test one. Under project name, I can call it. So now I can right click on that project and say open project. You'll notice up here that a new tab opens up called activities. So now I can navigate back to my projects folder, or since this project is opened, which I can tell that by at the top of my screen, it tells me what current project is open. So then I can navigate inside the project with this activities tab. And so that takes me in here. So let's add a WBS structure, which is just where our, the buckets that our activities are going to go in and how we want it organized. So I'll click this WBS, these two blue boxes here, and a new WBS tab opens up now. So it opens up here. So I can add a section right here, and now a child is created underneath this project, and the name of it is called new WBS. So I can call this administrative, and then I'm going to use a shortcut key, which is the insert button on my keyboard. I'll just go ahead and insert a new section, and we can call that construction. Notice that construction is a child to administrative, so and I actually want it to be a sibling to it. So what I can do is click construction, and then over here, this move left arrow, I can outdent it, and so now I have a sibling of construction. So wherever you're clicked, when you press insert a new WBS section, it's gonna create a child underneath that section. So what I can do is click on test project, and I can say insert, and now there's a new sibling under that. Close out, but it's in the wrong section. I actually want it down below construction. So I can use my arrows down. So now I have administrative, construction, and close out, and they're all siblings. So let's go back to our activities here. I can either use this green button here or this guy up here. You'll notice it actually it's not reflecting my WBS correctly the way that it's under here. So when I go back to activities, what I can do is just I can press F5 on my keyboard, which refreshes it refreshes P6, and so now it is shown correctly. All right, so let's add a couple activities under administrative. So I'm going to click my administrative. By the way, if you're not seeing this, let me take a step back. If you're not seeing this, it's probably because your group and sort is not it's not correct. So go up to here to group and sort. This is where you control how you want the schedule grouped. So underneath group by, use the drop down and scroll all the way to the bottom and make sure you're grouped by WBS. You want this indent button checked, and then you want to level. You want it selected on all, and then you need to make sure that this hide if empty is unchecked. So when I do that, it shows my correctly. But if I were to check this hide if empty and apply it, it goes away. And that's because there's no activities in the WBS. So it's going to say, if there's no activities there, then hide it. So make sure it's unchecked, apply, perfect. So let's add 5 activities under administrative. I'll just click administrative, and you can either use the add button over here, like on whatever page that you're on, this add button is going to add It depending on what page you're on. So if I'm on the projects page and I press add, it's going to create a new project. All right. If I am on the activities page and I click add, it's going to create a new activity under that. If I'm on the WBS and I click add, it's going to create a new WBS. So just keep that in mind. And the insert key works the same way depending on whatever tab that you're on. So I'm under activities. I'm clicked on administrative. I'm going to put insert, and I'll just call this activity 1, insert activity 2, insert activity 3, insert activity 4, insert activity 5. All right. So now I want to add a relationship between all 5 activities. I want to like daisy chain together to where it goes activity 1 is the predecessor to 2, 2 is the predecessor to 3, 3 to 4, 4 to 5. So what I could do is I could click on activity 1, and then in my activity details down here, which if you're not seeing this, go to view, show on bottom, and click details. And this activities details page will appear at the bottom of your screen. So I'm going to click on activity 1, click on this relationships tab, and then I'm going to say assign a successor relationship to activity 2. So now those 2 tasks are linked together, even though, and the way that we can, so P6 isn't going to reflect that change until we push our magic button up here, which is this schedule button. And the shortcut key for that is F9, but we can go ahead and schedule it. And now it reflects that new relationship that we added. So let me go ahead and delete that. Okay, so what we want to do is add a relationship between activity 1 to 2 to 3 to 4 to 5. So the quickest way to do that is if you click activity 1, you can hold your shift key and then highlight all the way down to activity 5. And I'm going to right click and say link activities, and it'll assume from top to bottom that you want those relationships, 1 to 2, 2 to 3, 3 to 4, 4 to 5. So from top to bottom, it'll add relationships how your screen, how you've highlighted the activities. And if I go ahead and schedule that, so you'll see it reflected, those relationships are reflected in that way. The other thing that I could do, which is kind of cool, let's try it under construction. So let's quickly just add a couple activities under here. And what I could do is say I want, let's just 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, just so you get to see the results of it. So say I want 3 tied to 1, tied to 2, tied to 4, tied to 5. So what you do is you hold your control key on your keyboard, click the first activity that you want in the sequence, and then hold the control key down and then click the activities the way that you want them sequenced. And P6 will know that you want to add relationships in that order. So then I'll right click and I'll say link activities, and let's go ahead and reschedule that. Schedule, and check that out. It goes 3 to 1 to 2 to 4 to 5. It did it in the manner that I wanted them added. Let's go ahead and stop there. It's just a really quick demo, but gives you an idea of how to navigate through P6, and we can go into detail in a later video. Okay, see you there. If you haven't tried it already, go over to jobsessions.com and try the free XCR comparison tool. You can compare XCR files for free. All you do is you upload your previous schedule file and then your current schedule file. Click Generate Report, and it'll produce a PDF report showing all of the changes that have taken place between both projects, and some quality checks as well for you to be able to make sure that your schedule is in good health. Check it out at jobsessions.com. Thanks.